Hi, Dr. CJ Benkert. Happy Thursday night. It's almost 8 o'clock here in California. And I wanted to take just a few minutes today to talk to you a little bit about weight loss, stress, and hormones. So if you're listening to me live, give me a 1 in the comments. And please let me know if there's a specific topic that you're interested in. And if you're listening to this after live, go ahead and put a 2 in the comments. And again, if there's anything related to nutrition, weight loss, health, etc. Not everybody here on my Facebook page knows what I do, but my love and passion is health and nutrition and helping people get off of meds, helping you if you've struggled with weight loss resistance, or if you're diabetic, or you just want to be your best. So welcome. A 1 if you're listening live. Any specific information on nutrition, health, wellness, detoxification, weight loss, diabetes that you'd like me to talk about. I just want to take a few minutes tonight to talk to you about weight loss, hormones, and stress. So here we are in COVID with the virus, and obviously it's not ending anytime soon. Most of us first found out about this, mid-March. And, we thought maybe it'd be a few weeks, and here we are, March, April, May, June, July. 4 months later, now we're being told that, maybe we're going to be having to wear masks for, all the way up until next year. So I think a lot of people are experiencing a lot of stress right now. So I just wanted to very quickly talk about, what does stress do to our bodies? How does it affect our hormones? And what does stress have to do with gaining weight? So we have 3 main hormones in our body that contribute to fat storage. So if you're storing fat, then you are obviously gaining weight. So I spend a lot of time in my clinics and with my clients talking to them about fat burning versus sugar burning. So when you're under stress, and a lot of us are right now, and especially just living in this world, with traffic and just the pressures of, modern society, and, just we're being pushed, and we have all these expectations and, make money and climb the corporate ladder. And there's just not a lot of time and space and energy given to us throughout our upbringing, teaching us about fulfillment and God and spirituality and connecting with people and love and what's important. And bottom line is, we're all only going to be here for a limited time. That's the one guarantee I can give you. You're not going to be here forever. So yes, we need money to survive, but it should not be more important than your loved ones and connecting and being fulfilled. So we have all these pressures from society, which create stress based on how you react to those pressures. So the top 3 fat storage hormones in our body are cortisol, insulin, and estrogen. So when you're under stress, your adrenal glands, which are those teeny tiny little glands that sit on top of your kidneys, they release cortisol. And that was designed a long time ago to happen when we were in these emergency situations. We call that flight or fright. In other words, if way back when, we've got our little caveman stick and, we're living off the land and the saber-toothed tiger comes at us, your body's going to release a ton of cortisol to bring all the glucose to your muscles so that you can run really, really fast. So that release of cortisol creates fat storage, because your body's like, well, if I'm going to have to run really, really fast, and if I've got these, live or die moments, I need to store a bunch of fat so I have energy the next time this happens. The problem in modern day society is that we're releasing, and we're under this flight or fright syndrome, which is only meant to be like this, once a year emergency situation, or, a very fine amount of time situation, life or death situation, that obviously wouldn't be happening constantly, day in and day out, all day long. But now in modern society, a lot of it based on how we react to our circumstances and how we've been brought up and what societal pressures are teaching us, is we're in this constant state of life or death. At least that's how our body perceives it. So when you're in a constant state of life or death, you're not healing, you're not growing, you're not working on important things like cellular healing and detoxification. Because when it's a life or death, is detoxification important, or building new tissue, or is running for your life to be able to save your life? So your body prioritizes. So this constant high level of stress, just this gnawing stress in the background of our lives, day in and day out, releases all of these stress hormones, one of which is cortisol, which creates fat storage, mainly around the belly. So if you've been having problems during COVID, even more problems than before, because now we have this constant level of stress, and now even more stress added onto it because of what's going on in our world right now. Many people, including myself until just recently, are putting on weight. That's what I do for a living. I help people be healthy and get into fat burning and reverse diabetes and cure, weight loss resistance. But yet here I found myself just about a month ago, 10 pounds up. And that might not sound like a lot, but for me, I live it to lead it. This is what I do for a living. This is what I love. And it's very important to me to be an example for my tribe, be an example for my clients. Because if they can't look at me and say, yeah, she looks pretty healthy, she looks pretty good. If I can't, exemplify what it is that I'm teaching other people, and if I'm not an example and I'm not doing what I'm asking my clients to do, then they're not going to listen to me. So if I want to have the most impact in other people's lives, which I do, that's one of my main values, then I need to live it to lead it. So I found myself 10 pounds up, and for me that was just unacceptable. Only 10 pounds, yet back pain started coming back in years, bloating, lethargy, depression, clothes were tight. I just did not feel right. I didn't feel healthy. I didn't feel at my best. I felt like a hypocrite, like I couldn't really teach what it is that I teach with health and nutrition and hormone balancing and detoxification and weight loss resistance when I was 10 pounds up. And the reason that happened, I believe a lot of it had to do with cortisol. When this first happened, it really knocked me on my butt. It really threw me for a loop. I was like, wow, this is a really big thing. And I'm not saying it's not bothering me now, but it's taken me a good 2-3 months to finally figure out, okay, how am I going to respond to this? How am I going to deal with this? Can I change, the worldwide picture? I can change my world. I can change my thinking. I can change how I react. I can change how I treat other people. I can make my body the strongest as far as my immune system goes. I can be respectful of other people and wear the mask and wash my hands and follow the procedures that we're being told to follow so that we don't continue to spread it. But I can't change the entire world picture. So I finally realized that it's not going to do me any good to get all stressed out and all worried and, watch, because in the beginning, and I hardly ever watch any TV during the day, I was watching like 2 or 3 hours of TV a day, watching the news, what's going on, how many cases. That lasted for at least the first month, if not the first 2 months. I've since stopped that. Now I'm getting my mind back and my sensibility back, And I was lucky enough to have a team member of part of my Pura Vida Wellness group, my client care specialist, Mark, who since last September has dropped over 100 pounds. And he started off over 300 pounds, and he has 20 more pounds to lose before he gets under 200, which means he's going to be dropping about, I think, somewhere between 130 and 150 pounds. So to support him, 15 days ago, 2 weeks ago, I agreed to go through my program, the program that I present to people to help people, the program that we coach people through, my health coaches, my team. We work with you one-on-one. I decided to go through my program, and it wasn't really for the weight loss, although I did need to drop 10 pounds. It was to support him and just to give my body a reset, right? I recently did a 5-day metabolic reset challenge in a separate Facebook group, and I taught you about, resetting, renewing, repairing your metabolism. So I needed a reset. The leader, the person that wants to be an example to others, I decided that I needed a reset. And that's what I teach. I teach my clients that at least once a year, if not every 6 months, you need to go through the first stage of our program to reset your metabolism, to clean out your body, to remind your body how to burn fat for fuel instead of sugar. So we can only use 2 things for fuel. It's either sugar or fat. So when you're under stress, you're going to crave sugar and carbs, and you're going to store fat. You're not going to burn fat. So guess what's going to happen? You're going to gain weight. So cortisol is the number 1 hormone. The second hormone is estrogen, and that's why women have a little bit harder time losing weight, and we see weight loss resistance more common in women. And or in my clinic, when I have, which I've had many times, and I love working with husbands and wives. When I have a husband and wife come in and go through our program, the husband always loses about twice the amount of weight every 40-day round that we take them through, and it's because they don't have as much estrogen. There's more muscle, more testosterone. There's just more fat-burning hormones in men than there are in women. So women, our bodies are made to make babies. We store more fat to have more fuel for babies. The estrogen levels are meant to allow us to have a little bit more fat, and we're supposed to have a little bit more fat than men. Men, ideally, a healthy man should be about 15-20% body fat. A healthy female should be 20 to 25% body fat. So the second hormone that makes you gain weight is estrogen, and women are going to be affected by estrogen more than men. So that's the second hormone. Third hormone, insulin. Now we get back to the fat burning versus sugar burning. Insulin is one of the top 3 fat storage hormones in our body. Insulin is released when you eat rice, pasta, fruit, sugar, oatmeal, quinoa. So all these healthy foods that we've been told are healthy, fruit and yogurt for breakfast. If you look at it, there's a chart. It's called the Pepsi challenge chart. 12 ounces of Pepsi raises your blood sugar to 150. Blood sugar is supposed to be between 80 and 100. Cup of oatmeal does the same thing. A cup of oatmeal raises your blood sugar, which makes your body release insulin, because when your blood sugar is too high, the body is like, oh, we got to get that sugar into the cell so we can store it for energy. And insulin is the hormone that's released from your pancreas that grabs that sugar, that glucose, and takes it to the cell to go in the cell and out of your blood sugar. So when you release insulin, you store fat because you're storing glucose, and oatmeal, Pepsi, a bowl of cereal with milk raises your blood sugar just as much as drinking 12 ounces of Pepsi. So we've been taught for many, many years an incorrect food pyramid. And the food pyramid that we've been taught primarily across the United States is based on food industries, packaged, processed, high carb, high sugar foods. that want you to eat cereal for breakfast and fruit and yogurt and toast and Pop-Tarts and Nutri-Grain bars, and I get it. I used to eat all those things too, because it's been ingrained in us for years and years and years that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and it's an absolute 100, are you ready, % lie. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. Your body does not need to eat every 2 to 4 hours. But if you're a sugar burner, because your hormones are so out of balance, because you're under stress, releasing cortisol, or eating carbs and sugar and fruit and yogurt, releasing insulin, or a female producing more estrogen, you're going to store fat, and you're going to be a sugar burner, and you won't be able to burn fat for fuel. So that's why we gain weight when we're stressed. It's because it changes the hormone balance in our body. So I am day 14 into the first part of my program, which is called Lose It, where we actually get you into this deep, intense fat burning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, actually 16, day 16. And I'll only go a few more days, because in 16 days, I dropped 10 pounds effortlessly, eating meats, tons of vegetables, and fruits, but very specific meats, vegetables, and fruits. So I just wanted to explain the top 3 fat storage hormones in the body, why you gain weight during times of stress, and a few solutions to what you can do to alleviate that. So, solution to releasing cortisol and being under stress is to change your thinking and your perception of the stress, because we all know, and maybe we don't all know, but I would love to teach you and get you to believe that it's not really what happens to us per se that causes problems in the release of stress hormones, but it's how we perceive, it's how we view what happens to us. So I believe that to be true, and as I go through my life and go through my healing and my growth and my journey, more and more I don't allow outside experiences to affect me, right? So number 1 solution would be changing your perception of stress, not reacting to things that you can't control. So, we've all heard the saying, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the wisdom to, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Oh my gosh, I know this by heart. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So just remember, when something happens, can I change this? And the only thing you can change is you. You can only change you. You can't change someone else. So if some stress is happening because of what someone else is doing, you can't change them. So if you can't change it, don't stress about it. Okay, so that's the number 1 solution to reducing stress. Number 2 solution to reducing stress is do stress relieving activities, like petting your animals, taking your shoes off and grounding on the earth. Powerful, powerful studies about earthing and grounding, connecting with the earth with your bare feet on your grass in your backyard or going to the beach reduces stress. It's proven. They have cameras that will look at your body and can see inflammation in your body. And when you're standing barefooted on the earth, the inflammation decreases. There's tons of studies on it. Google grounding or earthing. If you want, I will post the link to that grounding video. That link. If you're listening live, give me a 1 in the comments. Let me know if there's other topics you'd like me to cover. If you're listening after live, the recorded version, please post 2, where you're listening from, what you would love for me to talk about. How are you doing with your health right now through COVID? Share with me what's going on. How can I help you? How can I support you? So reducing stress by grounding, reducing stress by meditating, listening to music, Socializing, which I know now is difficult because we can't socialize as much as we used to. So get on some meetups, some Zoom meeting meetups. Connect with people online. It's better than nothing. The people that you can connect with, make sure you're spending high quality time with them. People in your immediate family, spend that high quality. Okay, number 2, how do we change the insulin from being released? The second fat hormone? Well, by changing our diet. Stop eating every 2 to 4 hours. If you've never done intermittent fasting, and that sounds horrible to you to skip breakfast, start with just no more snacks between meals. Most people don't realize that you're actually putting food in your mouth somewhere between 15 and 20 times a day. I challenge you right now to only eat, let's just start with 3 meals a day, no snacks in between. If you've never done any type of intermittent, if you've been preached and believed that you need to eat every 2 hours to keep your blood sugar up, which is not true. I challenge you, the very first step would be just stop snacking and just eat your meal, 30 minutes of breakfast, 30 minutes of lunch, 30 minutes of dinner, no more snacks, no more coffees, no more bagels, no more handful of nuts, no more granola bars, no more snacking. Do that first. If you are familiar with intermittent fasting, then I would challenge you to skip breakfast. You can have some coffee or some tea. You can have some healthy fat in your coffee. Call that Dr. CJ's Cup of Joe, or some people are familiar with bulletproof coffee. I have my own version of bulletproof coffee where you put healthy fats and organic cacao and stevia. And let me know if you'd like that recipe. I'll put it in the comments. And just eat a healthy lunch with no sugar, no carbs, just lean proteins, tons of high water content, high fiber vegetables, and 1 fruit for lunch, and do the same thing for dinner. You do just that one thing, skip breakfast, cut out sugar, carbs, rice, pasta, eat meat, as many vegetables as you want, and a fruit with lunch, another meat for dinner, as much vegetables as you want, and a fruit for dinner. I guarantee you will start to lose weight. Because when you stop putting sugar and carbs into your body, and not that you want to do that forever, but to get in fat burning you do, when you stop putting sugar and carbs in your body is going to switch over from fat storage, sugar burning, which is what insulin does, to fat burning. And when you only eat that lunch and that dinner and you're not snacking all day long, you've finally given your body the time and the space to start healing and cleaning things out and releasing toxins and healing your cells and balancing your hormones. The only time your body can do deep healing and cleansing and hormone balancing and rejuvenation is when you're not eating. So right now, most of you, the only time you're rejuvenating and regenerating your body is while you're sleeping. Maybe 6-7 hours. How would you like to increase that healing time, that intense, amazing healing time, proven, from 6 to 7 hours a day to 18 hours a day of healing, rejuvenation, anti-aging, longevity? That's what happens when you eat a healthy lunch with healthy fats, coconut oil, avocados, proteins, healthy proteins, tons of vegetables, 1 fruit, no snacking, healthy dinner with more healthy fats, a lean protein, bunch of vegetables, and a fruit. When you have a 6 to 8 hour eating window, and you give your body 16 to 18 hours to heal and to burn fat and to lose weight and to get healthy and to build up your immune system, that is the most powerful thing that you could do right now to strengthen your body, lose weight, counteract weight loss resistance, counteract trouble sleeping, counteract low energy, strengthen your immune system. So instead of focusing on the strength of this virus, put your focus on the strength of your body and your immune system. Focus on what you can change, right? That's what we started with. God grant me the serenity to give me, God grant me the serenity to accept change, the courage to change the things that I can. You can change what you put into your mouth and how often you eat and when you eat, and the wisdom to know the difference. And then the last hormone, estrogen, there's not a lot you can do to change that other than the clean eating that I'm advocating, that I would love for you to try, and stopping all of that snacking and actually eating in a 6 to 8 hour eating window. Estrogen is activated and conjugated and balanced, and all your hormones, all that happens in your liver. So when you give your body 16 to 18 hours of fasting, of healing time, of detoxification, your hormones now are going to be more balanced, and you're not going to have excess estrogen and different levels of toxic estrogens, because when the liver doesn't have time to clean out, that's when you run into the high estrogen levels. You're storing fat, you're under stress on top of that, storing more fat by releasing cortisol, and then you're eating bagels and cream cheese and fruit, which I get it, we're told that's healthy. It's not. So those are the 3 hormones. That's what you can do starting tomorrow to counteract and reverse weight loss resistance, to strengthen your body, to have more health, to have a stronger immune system, and to change and focus on the things that you have control over. We don't have control over President Trump. We don't have control over China. We don't have control over the mood of our husband when he comes home from work. But we do have control over how we react to other people, what we put into our body, how we move our body, and the commitments that we're willing to make to have a better life. So that's my little bit on stress, weight loss, and hormones. And I've given you the 3 top hormones that cause the problems, what you can do to reverse those effects, simple solutions, and I encourage you to take control of your life. And if you've never done any type of intermittent fasting, start with just stopping the snacks between meals. If you're okay with skipping breakfast, stop the snacks first, do that for a week or 2, and then try skipping breakfast, step up, start skipping breakfast, and then just have lunch and dinner and get yourself to a 6 to 8 hour eating window. Any questions about what I've talked about tonight, please put them in the comment section. I will answer those questions gladly, with gratitude in my heart. Again, if you're listening live, a 1, where you're listening from, what you would like me to cover, what topics interest you. If you're listening after the live, a 2, where you're listening from. And go ahead and post in the comments what surprised you about what I talked about tonight. Was there something new? And if there's something that was new that is challenging your belief system, like, no, that's not true, tell me what it is that I've said that's challenged that belief system, and I will put the information in the comments, reference the studies, and give you links to send you in the right direction so you can read the research and you can read the facts and gain the knowledge for yourself and make your decision based on your own research. All right, so happy Thursday night. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. And again, just focus on what you can do to control your life. That's the only thing that you can worry about. Just what can you do to change your life? That's the only focus. Who cares what everyone else is doing? If you can change it, change it. If you can't change it, let it go, right? It's not worth it. Don't sweat the small stuff. All right, peace and love to you. I will talk with you soon.